going on, Beamer fans? Today we have the beautiful black M4 Competition. If this is your first time on Beamer View, what we do here is showcase the latest BMWs that just hit the market. And today, once again, we have the beautiful black M4 Competition version. This specific M4 is pretty spectacular because it comes with some pretty cool packages. One of the biggest ones being is that it comes with the executive package, and with that, you're going to get some pretty cool things such as remote engine start, a heated steering wheel, head-up display, the laser lights, which are spectacular. You can see them right there. And also lastly, gesture control as well. It also comes with a parking assistance package, so the car can park itself. It's really cool. And before we get started, what we do here is we showcase the exterior of the vehicle, we showcase the inside of the vehicle, we'll take a look at the engine and go over the specifications. And before further ado, let's jump right into it. So right over here, we're checking out the laser lights that the M4 has. With the laser lights, you can have the vehicle project the headlights down to about a half a mile down the road, which is really nice. And I would highly recommend having them. A lot of the M4s and M3s that I've recorded, they all have them, so totally worth it. Here we're checking out the rims, and then the tires I believe are Pirellis. Also, don't forget to check out the red calipers that we have there. Highly recommend those, especially on this car, combined with the Fiona red that's going to be on the inside, which we'll check out too. And right over here, we're going to be checking out the grille really quickly. I know that everyone just happens to talk about the grille, but with the black sapphire, the M4 looks really great with this grille. If you're not a fan of the grille, definitely go with a dark color. Either the tanzanite blue is great. This black color that we have here is also great. Another quick look at the wheel there from the left side. We can also see the badging that's on the grille right there with the M4 Competition. Comes blacked out, which is nice. Nice little side skirt there that goes all the way along the back. If you get the other colors, the side skirt is always going to be black, just so you guys know. And right over here, we're going to be checking out the overall look of the side here. I think this is a really good angle. The black rims with the black paint with a red on the inside, plus the M4 shape that this has, makes the whole vehicle look really great from the side. Will definitely turn heads for sure. Here, we're just doing a quick little sneak peek at the Fiona red that's on the inside, which again, we'll check out in just a little bit. If you look at the side mirror way up there, you can actually see that it had a camera there. And as mentioned in the previous videos, if there's a camera on the sides, that means that the vehicle has Parking Assistant Plus, which means it comes with a 3D view, which is really great. And the car can also park itself. From this angle, we're checking out the rear quarter of the vehicle. You can see the exhaust there. They look great in person as well. Taillights for the M4, magnificent. And if you look at it from this angle too, this is probably one of my favorite angles. You can see the stance that the vehicle has. Will definitely turn heads for sure. And even just sitting still, this vehicle just looks like a Batmobile or something. Taillights again going off to the side there. You have some small rear reflectors that are on the lower left side. You can see them right there as well. And the diffuser, can't say enough about the diffuser. It looks really great for this vehicle, paired with those exhaust tips. It does stick out a little bit, but I actually don't mind that at all. I think the design in the back looks great. Another quick look at the exhaust tips. I'm putting my shoe up there so you guys can get a little idea of how big they are, but they are about the size of my fist. Each tip is about the size of my fist, which is pretty substantial size there. M4 badging we just saw there. BMW logo on the top. Right here we're checking out the trunk. Trunk space pretty reasonable, nothing too crazy there. You can fold down the rear seats, which is really helpful. And you can do that by those two latches that are on the top side there, left and the right. Some summer mats that are in the back. Our dealership, we don't place the mats because we try to keep them clean as possible, so those only get put on whenever the vehicle is bought. And we're jumping into the interior now. We're looking at the vehicle's interior from the outside at this point. You can see that there's a handle there right behind the seat for the M4. That's the lever that you would use to get into the back. Hopefully not too many people are sitting back there. The space back there is not too bad, but about what you would expect for a two-door car. On the top, we do have a carbon fiber roof, which is really cool. The threading is really nice. I personally would opt out for the carbon fiber roof, I'd actually go with the sunroof for sure. I prefer having the sunroof open for those bright summer days, and I've had a car before that had a carbon fiber roof, but it just felt too dark on the inside, so I'd prefer a sunroof. Checking out this angle from the interior, you can see the headlight controls are on the left side there. There's also a little cubby that all BMWs have on the lower left side, right below the headlight buttons. Bolstering the seats are extremely comfortable. Again, if you guys are thinking about getting the carbon fiber seats, I would definitely sit in them first before you buy the car. The seats are really rugged, and after about 20-25 minutes, the carbon fiber seats, they do get pretty uncomfortable. We actually had one person opt out of the car because of the seats. They just felt a bit too rough. But these seats that you see in this car, they are perfect. Trunk button is actually nearby the lower left side of the door. You can barely see it there, right beside the cup holder, or the bottle holder I should say. Jumping into the inside, here we're checking out the steering wheel. You can see the M button that's on the left side there. You can program that to whatever setting you want. Right on the left blinker stick, you see a couple buttons there on the side, BC and automatic high beams. That's right there. Again, another look at the headlight controls. The cubby is perfect if you're trying to hide your sunglasses or maybe some illegal items that you don't want people seeing. Perfect spot for that. Pedals we have right down here. And going back to the seat one more time. I love the black strip that goes right down the seat. It really divides up the collars really nicely. M4s and M3s, they also have that really cool M badging on the top seat. I think all the M cars, they all have that. It does light up at nighttime too. Really nice. A extremely nice angle here for both of the seats. Let me know what color seats you guys would get. I think the Fiona Red so far is my favorite. It's not on the build website yet, but I believe it's a brand new color that they're going to be putting up pretty soon. Back over to the steering wheel, it does come with a heated steering. Alright, so right here I did mention before that there was that BC button there on the left side. I'm scrolling through it right now actually. You can see the screen change on the right gauge there. That's total miles. You can reset the trip computer by holding down the BC button. And right here, I can't really tell what that is, but I think that's oil temperature. There's also a screen for PSI, tire PSI, and how warm the tires are. Two there, we had a G meter. We also had media. Right here's probably one of my favorites. You can see what settings the MM car is set to. Things like the transmission, the engine. That's probably one of my favorite screens that we just saw there. And right here, another quick look at the steering wheel going over. Just gonna close this menu real quick, but yep, there we go. Right here, we're checking out the controls. There is ventilated seats in this as well. You can tell by the ventilated seats. You can tell that the ventilated seats are there because the heated seat button, which was on the left side, you could see that there was a fan there, which means that the vehicle does come with ventilated seats. This button that I'm hitting right now, that's actually to control the shift points for the vehicle. You can adjust the shift points if you want to make it more aggressive or a little bit softer. Just poking through the buttons here. We do have one for M mode. Setup was the one that we used to control the settings on the car, whether you wanted things to be efficient. We're actually looking at it right now. So this was the setup button that was right there. You can actually control the brake too, which is quite nice. I've never seen that in a car before. There's a button right there called Auto H. What that does is actually you can come to a stop and you can take your foot off the brake and then the car will still hold in place. Pretty useful if you're in stop and go traffic or if you're going to a drive-thru. Right over here, we're checking out the carbon fiber trim. All the M4s and M3s that I've seen so far all have the carbon fiber trim, and probably one of the best trims that the vehicle offers. There were a couple of individual ones that I saw on the build website today. Let me know what you guys think about those, but I'm personally the biggest fan of carbon fiber. And when the sun was shining on it, it really did pop, and I thought that was really nice. Another quick look at the passenger seating. One really cool thing I like about the gear shifter is that the M logo is embossed on it. That's really cool. One button that I'm about to hit right here is the intelligent safety. You can see it on the right side of the hazard lights there. And what that is basically every safety feature that's in this car. You can actually tweak it to whatever you like. You'll see some things there called frontal collision mitigation. What that does is the vehicle can help you come to a stop. This specific one won't come to a full stop. You do have to have driver's assist pro in order to have that radar system that's in the front in order for the vehicle to stop completely whenever it thinks that you might get into a car accident. Typically people just keep this all on. The only one I might change up is the lane departure one. Some vehicles, they do have steering intervention, which means that whenever you veer off outside the lane, the steering wheel can pull you back in. I'm personally not a fan of that. Pop in the hood to check out the engine specifications here. We do have a 8-speed automatic transmission for the engine. I should have said this one first. It's the 3.0 liter twin turbo inline 6. Engine's phenomenal. It's producing, because this one's the competition model, it's producing 503 horsepower at 6250 RPM. For torque, we're looking at 479 foot-pounds of torque at 2750 RPM. For fuel economy, not that great, but about what you would expect for an M car. City, we're looking at 16 mpg. For highway, we're looking at 23 mpg. Couple other cool facts that we have here. Fuel tank capacity is 15.6 gallons. For the cruising range for the city, we have 250 miles for the cruising range for the city. And for the highway, we have about 360 miles. Curb weight, lighter than you'd think. It's 3880, so 3,880 pounds. The X-Drive version will be probably a little bit more. We'll see whenever it comes out, but this one again is the rear wheel drive model. If you guys are hoping for the X-Drive one, just like I am, you can go ahead and order it using one of the websites that the dealerships have. But as of right now, they're not available yet, but I totally wait for the X-Drive models. That'll do it for the specs. Next up, I'm just going to talk about the driving performance of the vehicles. Still have yet to go on the road. We're trying to avoid to put miles on these vehicles because they are selling pretty quickly, and customers would definitely love to prefer to have low miles car. So we definitely want to keep the miles low for this vehicle. But just driving around the parking lot, I'd say that the vehicle performs phenomenally. And I'd also say that the rear wheel drive models, I'd only get those if you guys lived in southern states. If you guys live in the north, definitely wait for the X-Drive ones. The rear tires, if they're cold, they have a hard time trying to put power down. Whenever I did that drive-by that you guys saw at the very beginning of the clip, I want to say that I think the temperature was about 40 degrees. The tires were still a little bit cold, but definitely I'd go for the X-Drive because we live in New England, so we definitely prefer the X-Drive there. But that's going to quite wrap it up for the video. Definitely check out this link that's right below at our video. We did partner with Escort radar detectors, so we're selling radar detectors now. And if you guys do check out the website, it's linked right below the video, so definitely check that out before you head off to the next video. I personally have one myself. I have the Max 360, but I think now they're coming out with a few newer ones, so definitely check those out. Have a great day. Thank you.